guys, it's Lord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Ursa Major Build-A-Figure Wave Stealth Armor Iron Man. Now I gotta tell you, this is one of the figures I was most looking forward to from this wave, so we're gonna cut to the chase and just dive right into it. First and foremost, he comes with the left leg to our Ursa Major Build-A-Figure. We are just about halfway there. Actually, we're a little bit over because the torso is a big chunk and the head is not. So, technically halfway there. But it looks a lot more like we're 4/7 of the way there. However that works. But he does come with the left leg, which is super stiff. Wow. I wish my first Venom Pool leg was that stiff. Update on that. I did replace that. And it's rock solid now, so woohoo! But he does have the hip joint, which is like ratcheted. It's pretty wild. I mean, listen to that. That's crazy. And then he has the thigh cut, of course, and then the single joint at the knee. No swivel at the knee. I think that would have been nice because it would have been a cleaner joint, but whatever. And then he's got a hinge at the foot with a rocker. I've never held a figure this way. But there you go. Nice big old bear claw foot. Go with this big old bear claw hand. The very unappealing looking hinge in it. Either way, looking good so far. We'll see who comes up next in that lineup. But talking about this guy's accessories, he comes with a pair of repulsor blast hands with some red repulsor blasts that look great. Red, blue, or orange, I can't really tell. But they look good. They don't have hinges because they are the repulsor blast hands, but of course you can take these out. They are red. And put them back in if you so choose. They look good. They look good. And then he comes with quite possibly my favorite Tony Stark head sculpt. Comic Tony Stark, not Robert Downey Jr. I love Rob, but it's all about the classic comic stuff for this guy. But this is a really nice Tony Stark head. Really, really nice. Might like it a little better than the 80th Tony Stark head, so we'll have to compare that at a later date because I did not get that figure out. I actually have that on a Robert Downey Jr. suited body, if you can believe that. But taking a look at the Stealth Armor Iron Man, I will say this has been a thing lately with the kind of marbleized figures, like the Doctor Doom and the Scientist Supreme. They've had this weird chalky stuff on them lately, and I don't know what's up with that, but I can get my own figures dusty on my own, Hasbro. I don't need your help. So, with that being said, this is essentially, speaking of which, the 80th anniversary Iron Man to the T. It's not accurate. The helmet should be different. It should have a more kind of pointed top to the visor. It shouldn't just be kind of flat. It should have a bit of a point. Almost like the horned Iron Man helmet, but the horns don't come off the helmet. They stay flush against the helmet. And then he should have some shoulder pauldron thingies like the Silver Centurion did. So it would have been nice if they gave this guy a new head and utilized those Silver Centurion arms, but they probably couldn't with these little doodads, these little kind of ring pieces on his shoulders. So that's understandable, but again, I would like to see an update at some point with the added parts. That said, Toy Biz did the same thing back in the day. They just kind of repainted the red and gold Iron Man into a stealth one and called it a day. So I guess everybody is kind of cheaped out when it comes to this particular armor. But that said, I really love this figure. He looks awesome. I love the red and the blue. Again, just looks really good. So articulation on this guy, if you haven't picked up one of these Iron Men, the head will look up all the way. It will look down. It can pop out. really easy. And the Tony Stark head does pop on quite easy. I'll show that off at the end of the video, actually. The shoulders go out to the side, about a right angle to the body. Do rotate all the way around. I don't know if I said this. His head will rotate all the way around and has a little bit of tilt to it. If I did, oh well. Bicep swivel. It's got double joint at the elbow. Standard stuff. Swivel at the wrist with a hinge. Again, the repulsor blast hands do not have the hinge. It's got a hinge in the ab crunch, which I guess some people have been having problems with this figure, breaking in this area. I didn't have any of those issues. I can rotate his waist all the way around, and I don't have those problems. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm happy. Mine's not broken. Hips, kick out, or kick forward, pretty good. Back, pretty good. Out a little bit. Be careful of these little disc thingies. He's got a thigh cut. Double jointed knee. I will say the double jointed knees on this guy are a little bit gummier than they used to be. But it is kind of hot in here, so that's probably not helping it at all. He's got a boot swivel. Really tight on this guy. They're almost ratcheted, which is kind of weird. He's got some schmutz I'll have to cut off later. And then he's got a hinge in the foot with a rocker. That works good on both sides. So, really solid figure, man. I love the way this guy looks. He looks awesome. Really nice. I think it's my second favorite in the wave so far. And I know I only got like 3 figures, but man, it's going to be hard to top this guy in Ultron. Just saying. So, standing him back up. I would really like a Toy Biz, the 90s animated series style version of this armor. That would look sweet. But with that being said, let's take a look at some comparisons. First up, we got the other 2 figures I have already taken a look at from the Ursa Major Wave. We got Darkstar, who I put up yesterday because, well, it just makes logical sense to get the torso up as soon as possible so we could start putting that Build-A-Figure together, right? And then we have the Mighty Ultron, who I put up a couple of weeks ago, so check those out if you haven't already. Up next for your Hall of Armor comparison, we have our Stealth Armor Iron Man next to the Hologram Iron Man from the Shang-Chi / Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure wave. And we have the Walgreens exclusive Silver Centurion. And as you can see, these guys pretty much utilize the same body mold. Silver Centurion got a little bit more unique tooling because he was an exclusive and didn't have a BAF piece. That said, let me do a little bit of kit bashing here because I am curious about something. There. How's that look? That looks pretty good. I know the blue core ain't accurate, but I do need an Iron Man with a Tony Stark head. And since I already have the gold Iron Man with the helmet, the red and gold 80th anniversary figure, that I think is going to do. And last, but certainly not least, we got our 2 regulars, the Mythic Legions, Brother Mandibulus, and the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and if you haven't guessed it already, yeah, this is pretty much my second figure in the wave so far. Granted, I only have 3, so that's not really a fair argument, but I also don't care because this thing looks friggin' sweet. I love the blue metallic they used on this guy. It just pops with that deep red, and the unhelmeted Tony Stark head looks really good and kind of changing things up for once. This is the first time I've done a Iron Man URL where he's not wearing his helmet, so yeah, gotta mix it up sometimes, you know. That said, the only figure I could see topping this guy as far as my favorite Iron Man of the year goes is the Modular Armor Iron Man, because I love the 90s Iron Man animated series, and that figure is pretty much that tenfold minus the mustard ketchup red and yellow that I am accustomed to through that animated series. So we shall see how that figure stacks up against this one, but this Iron Man is no slouch. Granted, I would have liked the pointy shoulder pads this armor usually has, and maybe a different helmet sculpt, but for what you're getting, I think you're getting enough here, and I think it's warrant a purchase, because you gotta have a good hull of armor, right? This will go great with the Silver Centurion and the other Iron Men we've gotten on this body mold thus far. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. Gotta show that algorithm who's boss, right? Don't forget to hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this figure, if you want it, love it, or hate it. But remember, keep the comments civil because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.